Cleveland Browns rookie Shedeur Sanders delivered the standout moment of Wednesday's organized team activities. The fifth-round quarterback found wide receiver Kaden Davis in a tight window during red zone drills. Joe Reedy of the Associated Press called it the best throw of the day. The Browns posted a highlight of Sanders' scoring pass on their official channels. Sanders zipped a pinpoint pass to Kaden Davis in the back of the end zone during a 7-on-7 red zone drill. Social media users debated whether Davis got both feet in before going out of bounds.
Hey, you feel me? Yeah, look, we don't got the same clothes, we don't got the same
Offensive coordinator Tommy Reese praised Sanders' preparation and work ethic. He's worked his tail off, Reese stated. The coordinator emphasized Sanders' mental approach to learning the system.
He's worked his tail off. He's really putting in a lot of work, as was like all those guys are. But you could tell on the mental side of the game and learning the system and calling it and having that rhythm to it. He's put a lot of work and time and effort into that. And then when you do that, the game starts to slow down and you can focus on finding completions. He's done a nice job of that as camps progressed.
Sanders faces a four-way quarterback competition heading into the 2025 season. He competes against veteran Joe Flacco, former first-round pick Kenny Pickett, and third-round rookie Dillon Gabriel. Head coach Kevin Stefanski approaches the situation with an open mind. The order of players could shift from day to day. Sanders did not take any first-team reps during Wednesday's workout. Cleveland media noted this development. Daniel Oifusi of ESPN reported that Sanders was the only quarterback among the four not to receive first-team snaps. Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett are the veterans presumably at the top of the depth chart. Dillon Gabriel was drafted in the third round, 2 rounds before Sanders. Sanders took second-team reps at the team's minicamp this past week. He slipped and fell on the first play of his second-team work. The limited practice snaps present challenges for Sanders moving forward. Fourth-string players typically receive limited practice reps and few plays in the fourth quarter of preseason games. ESPN Cleveland charted statistics for all 4 quarterbacks during 7-on-7 and 11-on-11 drills. Sanders completed 9 of 14 passes for 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. The interception came on a tipped pass that went to the middle of the field. Media outlets don't normally keep statistics of quarterbacks in helmets and shorts. The Browns' four-way quarterback competition generates exceptional interest. Sanders might be the most watched fifth-round pick and fourth-string quarterback in recent memory. ESPN's Kimberly A. Martin reported Wednesday that sources within the Browns organization believe Sanders has a legitimate path to the starting role. Listen, in that building, there are people who believe that Shedeur can 100% be the starter of this football team, Martin said during Wednesday's episode of Get Up. Martin's sources describe Sanders as absorbing information rapidly. You said it's incumbent upon the Browns to put him in the situation. It's also incumbent upon Shedeur to do the work, which, talking to people in that building, they've said he is soaking up everything like a sponge, she reported. Sanders actively engages with veteran quarterbacks in the QB room. Sources told Martin that Sanders spends time talking to Flacco and wanting to learn from the experienced signal caller. The organization draws distinctions between Sanders and fellow rookie Dillon Gabriel. One source told Martin that Gabriel is everything you want in a quarterback, he's just small. The source suggested that if Gabriel were taller, people would view him differently. Sanders' measurables set him apart from his fellow first-year signal caller. Sanders broke his silence on the quarterback battle through the Browns' official website. He acknowledges the franchise's long history of quarterback struggles.
It been extremely well, I would say. I understand. Really, I feel like the Browns fans, they just want something to hope for, and they've been wanting it so long. So finally, I'm here to change that. I'm here to, actually give what they want.
The ex-Colorado star has made similar franchise-changing claims before the draft after transforming both Jackson State and Colorado. Sanders, the son of NFL Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, compares his career trajectory to Tom Brady's path as a late-round pick.
To know about Shedeur Sanders.
I'm here to work and win. I think everything off the field, that's going to handle itself. On the field, of course, that's what I want my personality, and that's what I want to be known for, is the one that came here and changed the franchise.
The rookie quarterback emphasizes his preparation for this moment. I've been built for this moment year by year. "It don't feel new to me at this point," he said. Sanders acknowledges the need to establish himself within the organization. "I understand I got to go in here. I got to learn, establish myself, be a great teammate. I got to get all the elephants out of the room with anybody, with anything, any type of problem, what they heard or anything." Sanders expresses comfort with his current environment. "It's normal to me. I'm in my environment here. I got my resources here. I don't think anything's too much of a problem." Sanders experienced one of the most glaring NFL draft slides in recent memory. He was expected to be a first-round pick, but fell to the 5th round. Sanders became the 5th quarterback taken in the 2025 draft. The Browns didn't even select him as their first quarterback, having picked Dillon Gabriel in the 3rd round. Sanders' college statistics suggest first-round talent. He completed 71.8% of his passes for 7,364 yards and 64 touchdowns at Colorado. Sanders finished 8th in Heisman Trophy voting last season. These eye-popping numbers indicate he should have been drafted much earlier. ESPN NFL draft analyst Matt Miller told TalkSport before the draft, "You're kind of waiting to see who's going to be left standing, and it might be Shedeur." Sanders' draft stock fluctuated significantly in the months leading up to the draft. Several factors contributed to Sanders' draft slide. He did not hire an agent, which completely backfired. Father Deion Sanders spent the year before the draft hinting that Shedeur wouldn't play for a bad or cold-weather team. The family appeared willing to play hardball in dictating his professional destination. NFL reporter James Palmer addressed Sanders' roster security during a Bleacher Report livestream. "5th-round picks are not a lock to make the roster, so no, I don't think he is 100% a lock," Palmer stated. He emphasized that Sanders faces a genuine battle to make the 53-man roster. Palmer acknowledges Sanders' commercial appeal. "I think he has one of the highest-selling jerseys in the NFL right now," Palmer said. "I think that sometimes play a part. Popularity. I hate to say it, but it does oftentimes, especially in the eyes of owners." Palmer believes Sanders will likely make the roster despite the uncertainty. "But you don't draft a guy in the 3rd round and cut him," he said regarding Gabriel's relative security. Palmer predicts that only one veteran quarterback will remain on the roster. "I think one of the two of Kenny Pickett or Joe Flacco will make the time. There's no advantage between the two veterans. I don't think they're both here," he said. Palmer concluded his assessment with cautious optimism about Sanders. "I think Shedeur is not a lock to make the roster. Do I think he does? Yes." Deion Sanders' public involvement significantly impacted his son's draft prospects. The 57-year-old coach holds a 13-12 record as the head coach of a college football team, but acts as if he remains an NFL expert. His constant media presence created unwanted baggage for NFL teams. Deion publicly blasted several prominent sports media figures during the draft process. He appeared to insist that ESPN's Dan Orlovsky had become a hater, tweeting, "Yes, he did. Wow." Pat McAfee, Paul Feinbaum, and Sean Keeler all felt the wrath of the Colorado coach. Deion defended his son after the draft slide on the Say What Needs to Be Said podcast. Deion said,
"Whatsoever." So when you sit up there and say something like he went in a meeting unprepared, like, dude, Shedeur Sanders, who's had 6 different coordinators, who has still functioned and went up, leveled up every time we brought somebody new in, and you're gonna tell me he was
every situation.
You're gonna tell me he had on headphones. Shedeur, anybody know my son? Understand he's a professional. Like, he's gonna go into a meeting with headphones on. Like, y'all, come on.
You know what that tells me, Coach? That tells me somebody was looking for something.
The elder Sanders criticized media narratives surrounding his son.
That's all you got to do.
But people don't want to do that. They want to create these narratives and create these stories and then attach them to a kid that ain't never done nothing wrong.
Yeah. How does that make you feel when you see your colleagues or your peers going in on you, man? Like, how does that make you feel?
No idea, man. You have no idea. Like,
because I don't think people be understanding, like I got kids too. These are our kids.
NFL teams typically avoid players who come with excessive external drama. Tim Tebow and Colin Kaepernick both saw their careers affected by surrounding noise.
And stop lying. Like, you got to understand, my kids are built for everything. We had 2 TV shows, and then we had shows in high school with playing football junior and senior year. So we've always been in front of the camera, so they know how to navigate. They know how to handle themselves. Yeah. And you're not going to catch them in no foolery and no mess. You're not going to do that. whatsoever. So when you sit up there and say something like he went in a meeting unprepared, like,
The NFL operates as the most cutthroat sport in the world, where contracts are rarely guaranteed and careers can end instantly.